of the 4th Judicial Circuit in and for Duval County, Florida, in case number 16-2012 CF 011572 AXXXMA, Division CRD, the State of Florida versus Micheal David Dunn. Verdict is to count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of attempted second-degree murder, a lesser-included offense. We find that the defendant discharged a firearm during the commission of the offense. Verdict is to count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of attempted second-degree murder, a lesser-included offense. We find that the defendant discharged a firearm during the commission of the offense. Verdict is to count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of attempted second-degree murder, a lesser-included offense. We find that the defendant discharged a firearm during the commission of the offense. Verdict is to count 5. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of shooting or throwing deadly missiles as charged in the indictment. So say we all, done in Jacksonville, Duval County, Florida. Juror number 7, 4-person, dated February 15th, 2014.
Welcome. I'm anonymous. A lot of people won't like this because, I ain't got the mask on. A lot of people gonna say, oh, you're misrepresenting Anonymous. That's not what this is about. Well, okay. People are gonna feel how they want to feel. People have their opinions, their perceptions about things. I'm not gonna be able to change that. But I feel as if what I'm about to speak on, I need to do away with the mask. This is me. The mask is nothing more than a symbol. It represents that for which it is we stand for. And it also protects those who do not feel comfortable speaking in front of large crowds, things of this nature. So everything has its reason. But my reason for posting this video today, I haven't posted in a while. I've been a little busy handling business, but this right here is about the Micheal Dunn case, which I'm pretty sure everybody been following. They just came down with a verdict not too long ago. A lot of people are outraged, saying that, it was a miscarriage of justice. Things didn't go the way that they should have went. People didn't know what they were doing, things of that nature. So I just want to just read a little bit of CNN's interpretation of the situation of our justice system. Now pay attention to how they write and use words in their article. This is them speaking about our justice system. The case against Dunn stemmed from an incident on November 23, 2012. Dunn, a 47-year-old white man, arrived at a gas station in Jacksonville, Florida, and parked next to an SUV that contained Davis and other black teenagers. When Dunn complained about loud music coming from the SUV, words were exchanged and Dunn ultimately fired a gun that killed Davis. Dunn said he saw a gun barrel pointing out of the SUV, but the prosecution said there was no gun. Dunn was found guilty of 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder as to the other occupants of the car, but the jury was not able to reach the verdict on the first-degree murder charge in the death of Jordan Davis. In the eyes of critics, this case was a sure thing for the prosecution, and anything less than guilty verdicts across the board is now considered by them to be a miscarriage of justice. Guilty verdicts were expected. That sentiment belies a fundamental misunderstanding about the criminal justice system. With juries, there is no such thing as sure thing. No one can accurately predict how each jury might perceive the evidence, argue a case in deliberations, or be persuaded by his or her fellow jurors. Jurors can and do bring their own life experience to the jury room, and no two juries are the same. Yet anyone who has waited for a jury's verdict has engaged in the same helpless jury astrology because there is simply no hard science to predict their behavior. The best example is the rapid divination of the meaning of jurors' question. Those indestructible, hard-written missives intermediately sent out to the judge and read to the lawyers in chambers. The system is about as sophisticated as note passing in grade school algebra, but just a few lines from an innoxious jury inquiry will leave seasoned attorneys pondering the hidden meaning and the potential direction of the deliberation. The bottom line is this: reading these tea leaves is an exercise in futility. There's no way to predict a verdict with certainty. Excuse me, I got this small phone. It's so hard for me to see these words. But now I want to touch on something. How they're stating and claiming that, see, people refuse to understand that law is supposed to be unbiased. It was set up in a way to where you can't bring your emotions into it. You can't bring what you're going through at home. Like she was saying, they bring their personal experiences with them to these jury situations, to these events. Law was set up in a way to do away with that. Because you're dealing with the individual's life now. In this particular situation, you're dealing with lives. One's already been lost. One is hanging in the balance. So, it was set up in a way so that we can be sure. Because we already know once you take a life, you can't get it back. Doesn't matter in what form you're taking it in. Whether you're imprisoning people, walking up and just cold-bloodedly murdering people on the street, you're still taking a life. But it was made to be accurate this way for a reason. So we don't make mistakes, so the wrong people don't get away, so the right people don't get locked up. But people refuse to admit that. Now, law doesn't need my opinion. That's why if you realize at the end of the case, the judge writes his opinion of how he feels the case should have went, what went wrong, things he could not have said, because law does not need that aspect of us to intervene with it for it to be what it is. So a lot of people have already turned it, oh, this is a race issue. He was black, the man was white. CNN made it clear when they put it in their article to label this guy as a white man. Let's make that known, and that he shot a black guy. See, this is publicity for them. It just happens to be their job as well. But the important thing of what it is they do, the scary games that they play, is they know when it comes to perceiving what it is they put out is what counts. So they play games. You gotta be careful with mass media. I chose CNN for a reason. But their affiliates and just the blatant evidence of how they are already shows that they're not that good of a news source. There's too much publicity and propaganda with them. But people have already turned this into a race issue. Oh, he was black, the boy was white. See, if you really truly defend life, let's be honest, America. If you really truly defend life, it would not matter what color that man that pulled the trigger on that gun was, or the person that received the bullets that came out of the gun. It does not matter. Because the life is essential, not the color of his skin. It's not the skin color that his family and friends are missing. It's not the skin color that Dunn's family is going to miss as he does life behind bars. It's the essential essence of him, man. His life, him. His being. We should not have even care what color he is. All of this is good for propaganda. We play right into it. We play right into it. So, it's not a race issue. It's about humanity. It's a freedom issue. You stripped another individual of his freedom. This is why I'm mad at this man. Or I feel this man should pay for what he did. Not because he's white. I don't care about that, bro. It's the actions that you portrayed on that day. Because that could have been avoided. You could have simply hopped in your car the same way you went back to your car and grabbed the gun. You could have just got in and just drove off. If you really cared about your family like you said you did, and the beach house that you have, and everything that you've accomplished, a rational man would have just got in his car. A rational man, period, that wouldn't have bothered him. Because a rational man would have understood that that man has the right to be doing what he's doing. He's out in the public, out in society. He's not bothering nobody. He paid for that. That's his property. I can't dictate and then get on the stand and say, oh, I want my rights to be respected, when you just blatantly took the rights of someone else. So what do we do? Keep letting the propaganda play on, playing into the race card, the division tactics. We can do better than this, because we've done better than this. History is the record. But people gonna say what they want to say. My condolences to the family, to both families, because nobody won. The prosecution didn't win. The defense didn't win, because life is still lost, and you took another in the name of justice. So like I said, a lot of people are gonna be mad about this video, probably, definitely by a lot of my anonymous affiliates. But like I said, I feel as if I don't need to put the mask on for this right here. I did this for respect out of the family, so you can know exactly who you're speaking to. For those who say, oh, you guys hide behind masks, how can we take you seriously? Nobody's hiding. There's no need to hide. You're not the enemy. The man that lives next door to me is not the enemy, unless he portrays himself to be. We got other enemies out here that's blatantly doing things to us that I'm more focused on. But like I said, man, I want y'all to be good, man. This is anonymous news. I said, no one won. Micheal Dunn, America, we got to do better. We got to stop playing into the propaganda. We got to stop poisoning the judicial system. This is what we do when we get up here and we comment about race and things of this nature. All these things is not relevant, because it's not relevant. So y'all just be good. Like I said, man, it's anonymous news. I appreciate y'all checking it out, man. Check out my YouTube. Got some videos up there, man. Like I said, man, I don't do none of this, man, for no profit. Not looking for any gain. I work for mine. I want y'all to be good, man. Be safe, man. Like I said, bro, we gotta do better. It's anonymous news. Expect us.